All right, this is a review of the Breville Espresso machine. We've had this here for a couple of years now, and it's one of our most favorite kitchen appliances. And I'm going to show you a little bit about it and how it works. All right, so as you can see, there's only a few buttons here across the top. So this is how you're going to use all of them. You're going to turn it on here with the power button. You have two options, a single shot of espresso and a double shot of espresso. And then the grind amount, this way is less. And if you turn it to the right, it will do more. On the left side, this is usually where we have our setting, just past the first, or just before the first major notch. We usually do double shots. Every once in a while, I'll have a single shot. The two inserts for the handle here are very hard to switch out. We usually have to use a knife without cutting ourselves, a butter knife. And so it's just easier to keep the double in there. You want to keep, when you're making it, you want to keep the red line here in this black area. If it's not going far enough, that means you probably didn't pack or have enough espresso powder in there. And if it's going too far, then that means there's too much pressure and you're not getting enough water through the system to have the right amount of espresso. And so this is the program. You can do different programs on here, like cleaning cycles and things like that. This is again for one shot. This is when the water actually goes through it, and two shots. The water filter is here on the back, and it is very easy to pop off and to refill. And if you turn it to the left, it will do the spray wand here, where you can heat up milk. And if you do it to the right, it will drip out hot water, so you can make tea or just an Americano. Down here in the bottom, it does come with a container for holding the espresso shots or for steaming your milk. This is good enough for I would say a large coffee for yourself. And what I usually do is I usually fill the espresso up about halfway because the milk needs room to froth. I'll allow the milk to get pretty hot, and then I'll put the tip of the frother, which is right here, and I'll put it just on the very edge of the milk, and I'll kind of go up and down a little bit, but not going too far down so that the frother starts to spray all over the place, or the steam starts to spray up milk all over the place, but also not too far in so it doesn't create some sort of a foam. This is pretty difficult to clean. When I used to clean the professional ones, we used to just have a rag next to us all the time, and we would basically turn the machine on and get that hot water, steam it up, and then we'd clean it after every use. But it does get some residual milk spots down there. This does slide up and down, so you can clean underneath here. You just don't want milk kind of staying there for a long time and getting kind of smelly. It does need to be cleaned every so often, so you'll need to do either descaling or cleaning the machine. And there are instructions that come with it. We bought the descalers, we buy the cleaning tablets, so there is some ongoing purchase that you'll have to make. It does come with a few to start off with. And it is just nice knowing, because you can't see all the tubes on the inside, that the machine is getting cleaned. And you're not having to worry that, oh, there's a lot of buildup inside, it's going to stop working and there's going to be mold. Just clean it when it tells you you need to clean it. We also mostly use filtered water on the inside of it. And so for us, that's been working pretty good. On the grind amount, or the grind size, we experimented with this for a while when we first got it. And what works for us is to keep it at about an 8. It's just between, just over an 8 towards the 9 size. And that has been good. So again, right here with the grind size, just above the 8. And then just below for us, the first big line here. When you start it, you have two options. You can either just put the espresso one right in there, and you can hold it down, and that will push it in there, and that will allow you to manually figure out your size. Or you saw this like grind them out less or more. So we have it programmed where if you just touch it and let it go, you just bounce it in and back, then it'll grind for us the perfect amount. We do use this all the time. What this does, it came with it, and you just put it right on top like this, twist it on, and now it's on there pretty good. And that just doesn't allow the espresso to slide off the sides. So while this is still on, use the tamper here, and you just kind of push it down. You don't have to push it so hard that you're, you know, gonna hurt something, but you just want to compact all the espresso beans in there. We really like espresso beans more than just regular coffee beans. We've been drinking a lot of coffee. We have anywhere from 2 to 4 cups a day between my wife and I. So I don't know if it's more cost efficient to have this or a coffee pot, but the espresso is just a little bit more potent and definitely gets you going in the morning. When you're pushing this down, in order to get the right grind size, you do want to use, as you can see on here, let's see if I can get this focused, there is a silver ring on the bottom, and you can push this down onto the coffee so that you can see an equal amount of silver around all sides. Because what will happen is you'll push down and you won't notice it, but it'll be like a little bit, I'm exaggerating it right now, but it'll be a little bit up to the side. And one side you'll see a bunch of silver, and one side you'll see only black. So you just want to make it even, and you can turn it a little bit, but you don't need to go overboard. And then you can just wipe the rest of the coffee off. Once you pushed it down past this rim, you can take this part off and you can just put it off to the side. So try to make sure that your coffee is level, that there's just a little bit of silver around the outside. And then once you have it, then you're going to take this plastic piece off and you're going to set it right in here. Now you don't need to crush this by turning it to the side, but it goes in like a little bit sideways, and then you kind of want this straight. But if it's off to the side here, it doesn't matter too much. If you over push it, it doesn't matter too much. You just don't want to break your expensive machine. Okay, so showing you the inside here, what else it comes with. This is a leveler, which we've used every once in a while, very rarely. And what this is used for is just to kind of scrape off excess grounds. So you put this on the top here. You put this on the top here, and then you just kind of turn it like that. And it'll give you the perfect height. So you can see this is like a little bit of a blade on both sides. Let's see, there you go. So it'll give you the perfect height on this. And the height is important. If it's too high, it won't fit in this part right here. And if it's too low, then it's not going to give you your espresso. It's just the water's going to flow through it too quickly, and you're not going to get the pressure up into this black section here. So we've been making some really good coffees, and they have like a little bit of foam on top. They're really nice. This is where your water trap is and your storage. So if you open this up, you can take this off and clean it. You can take this off and clean it, and there's going to be always some water down in there. And all you do is dump it out. When it gets high enough, there's a little float piece right in the front, and this will float up and say, hey, I'm too high, you need to empty me out. So mine is not up right now, so it's still fine. But as it becomes higher and higher, this piece will float up to the top and says empty me. And here is the cleaning tablet. So this is one of the things that you will need to do every, I would say about every 6 weeks to 6 months, depending on how often you're using it. That's the cleaning tablet. It goes into the single filter. And then these are the dual wall, which we have not used. The dual wall inserts. And those are all the pieces. One other thing that we do that is totally optional, with the amount of coffee we drink, we might not need to do this, but coffee beans do go stale if they're not kind of kept in a airtight container. This is not airtight. This is pretty good. So we usually keep this mostly empty. We have a little coffee holder right here, and we keep some beans in there, and we transfer them a couple handfuls at a time. Probably makes, we probably do that 2 or 3 times a day, just to make sure that we're not filling this up to the top and then letting the top beans get stale before they can be used. But if you're in a household that is going through coffee, it probably isn't a big deal. All right, thanks for watching my video about the Breville Espresso Maker. Make sure you get yourself one, and if you liked this review, consider leaving a comment, liking the video, and subscribing to my channel. Thanks. Have a great day and a Merry Christmas.